This is a little bit about my background in aviation. My father learned to fly in 1940, flew J-3 Cubs, bought a War Surplus BT-13 for $600, and my two brothers are into aviation, and I never got into aviation the way they did. But my interest has always been there. So I went into flight simulator as a means of enjoying the hobby. Flying is anything but a hobby. It requires full-time attention and expertise. In the simulator, you can make mistakes, but not in the air. So anyway, enjoy this presentation as we move through my experience with Flight Simulator. Hello, and welcome to my world of flight simulation. 10 minutes of a recap of a great hobby that I've been enjoying for many, many years. Good afternoon. I'd like to take you through a little trip through my flight simulator experience by showing you a project aircraft that I resurrected from the bone heap after it crashed. I took it home and soldered up and put a bunch of equipment in it and installed Flight Simulator 2020. And then I went to 2024. And over the years, I've gone from a 2D screen to 3D VR goggles. And when you put these goggles on, there's no 2D. It's not like looking at a TV. You're looking at three-dimensional space. So that when you're in the cockpit, you are in the cockpit. Parking brake off. About 80 knots, pull back on the yoke. Steer for that heading bug, straight ahead there at 233. Landing gear up. And flaps up. The weather's pretty good today. Okay, acknowledge handoff. New departure. feet, that's good altitude.
Departure Cessna November 8082 Foxtrot is passing 3,200 feet, climbing 5,000 feet.
And once you do it, there's no going back to 2D. Now, one of my favorite planes is the A2A Comanche 250. 5,000 of these aircraft were manufactured. It has 180 horsepower, six-cylinder, 250 horsepower Lycoming 0540 engine, which will propel this plane to over 180 miles per hour. It's a beautiful aircraft and has advanced modeling. And one of the cool things is it has a Garmin GTN 750, Garmin GPS satellite navigation, where you can put in your flight plans and your approaches and fly the thing by hand or use autopilot to get to the localizer and glide slope, and you can change the weather, you can change your location, you can fly different planes, and overall this is a very satisfying hobby. This is the Garmin GTN 750. A2A's Comanche 250 is a very interesting airplane for several reasons. The developer has included, unlike any of the other developers, has included the six-cylinder Lycoming engine operation so that you can see what's going on in the cylinders. And in terms of cylinder operation, where any kind of irregularity will show up audibly and visually on their engine control monitors. And this airplane is very slippery. You have to be very careful when you're coming into land, because if you're coming too fast, you're going to float and float and float. And many pilots get into trouble when they try to plant this airplane and they end up breaking the nose wheel. So landing is a tricky business, and it requires a lot of up trim. The interesting thing on Piper aircraft is that their trim is an overhead crank where you reach up and you twist the dial like that to get the trim to go up and down to help you relieve the pressure on the yoke. So this airplane is a beautifully modeled airplane, and it keeps track of your utilization so that over time your battery is going to go bad on you. You're going to have these issues cropping up. You need to overhaul things. The neat thing about A2A is it keeps track of your utilization. And you will notice when you do walk-around inspections, things that need to be fixed. And so it's a very accurate and fun thing to fly. Now, over the years, I've probably been at this for 10 or 15 years. I've probably spent $5,000 or $6,000 on upgrading my equipment over time and just enjoying the march of technology. So you're going to spend money upgrading your graphics cards, putting in faster CPUs, maybe a new motherboard, and just keep your flight controls and things in condition. So this is very sophisticated, and the whole flight simming experience has exploded. It is truly a worldwide hobby, and I'm happy to present part of it to you with this presentation. This is your starting point. A crashed airplane, some junkyard, take it home, go. This is a Cessna 150 N8082 Foxtrot, which I have in my den at the moment. This aircraft crashed in a gusty landing, and it was destroyed and parted out, and I bought the fuselage and took it upstairs here, and what you see is what I ended up with. Quite a trick getting it upstairs into this little narrow den here through the door. But you can see that it's a partial cockpit. I've always wanted one of these setups, and it's really neat because what I have done is I have put a giant TV set in here. Bottom half of a crashed Cessna 150, and the top half, which is upside down in the foreground. So here I've attached the biggest TV I can get in there. That is about the width of a Cessna 150, a very narrow airplane. I'm putting in my SciTech equipment. At this stage, I've only got one throttle quadrant, and I have an 8-position switch for the autopilot there. Okay, so now I've mounted it on a cradle which has casters underneath it so I can roll it around. I've added doors and covered the windshield with black material and also a back flap. So this is looking pretty good right now. All of my instruments are installed already. Well, that concludes my little presentation on my hobby. And I'm staying up to date with it. And I enjoy flying this thing almost every day. So I'm glad to have shared this with you. Thank you for watching.